Hi guys, it's Zilla back again with another review. This time it's my 3 to 4 week review of using the iPhone 7 Plus as my daily driver. I did a hardware comparison between this and the Note 7, and a lot of Apple fans out there said I didn't get the whole point of Apple. It's not about the hardware, which is fine. So I joined a few iPhone forums, spoke to a good few iPhone users. I've read up about Apple, trying to understand the whole philosophy, and to make this as fair as possible. And I have to stress that video was purely hardware based, and a lot of you guys didn't understand that, even though I said that from the straight up at the beginning. So, being an ex-Note 7 user, I've been asked by a lot of other Note 7 users, is this a viable option to replace their Note 7? Well, that's what this video is about. I'm going to go through it real quick. So let's talk about the build. It's all metal. I've got the matte black, which looks a bit more grey to me, but I don't mind, I quite like it. You've got the camera hump, which is, it's there, but I understand why it's there. Because you've got two lenses. You've got OIS, and you've got optical zoom built in, so you need that hump there because the phone is so thin. It is very slippery to hold this phone, so I will warn you of that. That's why I use a case with it. I'm not sure if it's exclusive to this particular color, but I'm just pre-warning you there. I like the build. I think it looks quite nice. A lot of people go, it's not very innovative, same old thing, but hey, it looks nice. I like it. The screen. Now the screen's 5.5 inches. It's only a 1080p, but I'm going to go on record and say it's the best 1080p screen I've ever seen on any phone. Period. A lot of Android users are used to 2K screens with AMOLED technology. Well, as I said, this is a 1080p screen that's IPS. So what does that mean? It means the colors are not as saturated as AMOLED. The blacks are not as black. But to be honest, when you're using it day to day, you don't notice that. The colors do look more natural. It doesn't look too cartoony, if that makes sense. And you won't really notice it unless you put it up against a phone which has got 2K. So let me bring this in for you real quick. There's a 2K screen, Super AMOLED. You can kind of see the difference. The colors are slightly washed out on there. But honestly, guys, it's the best 1080p screen I've ever used. So don't let that put you off. Now, the speakers. Dual speakers, which I really like. One at the top there, one at the bottom here. I'm going to play you a quick clip so you can hear it. Now, I've been told by a lot of iPhone users out there and hardened Apple fans, the way it works is, I don't know if it's a sensor or if it's software based or whatever. When you're holding it in portrait like this, it knows you're holding it in portrait and the sound comes out in a certain way from the top and bottom. But as soon as you turn it horizontally like that in landscape mode, it changes the way the sound's put out through the speakers. And believe me, of any speakers on any phone I've heard, these have the best stereo separation. They're not the loudest, but they're very loud, but not the loudest. They're not the most bass heavy, but the treble and the mids are quite nice. And honestly, I really like the separation. Best stereo separation in my opinion. So you're going to enjoy the speaker experience on this. Believe me, they're quite nice. They're really good. Battery. When I first got the phone, I found the battery a little bit ropey, to be honest. What I find now is, after several updates from Apple, the battery gives me at least, I can get 2 days standby time out of this phone. It's a 2,900 milliamp hour battery. So you think, oh, that's not much. The way the software is optimized, it gives me 2 days standby time, no problem. And that's with getting a good 7 hours, 8 hours screen on time. So the battery may not be huge, but it's a beast in terms of performance. And because it's a 1080p screen, it uses a lot less power to push all those pixels around. So the battery is very, very good on this. Let's talk about the camera. Now, I'm not going to go in and show you lots of different photos and stuff like that I've taken, because there's plenty of videos out there that have done that. Camera, very quick. Now, if I do press there, that's the optical zoom. You see that? There's no degradation because it's optical zoom in the quality. You've got obviously your live photos, which you can switch on and off here. You've got all these different, you've got time lapse, slow-mo, video, photo, square, panoramic, however you want to call it. You've got HDR, you've got timers, you've got your filters for the Instagram fans and whatnot. You've got your flash. Now, one thing that I find a little annoying about the camera, if you want to activate the 4K, you've got to go into settings, go into your camera app. Let me see if I can do that for you. It's in here somewhere. I'm not going to do it now, it'll take too long to find it. You have to go into the settings, go into certain thing, find the right settings, set up switch on 4K, come back out, go back into the camera, and then you got 4K filming, which is annoying. So why couldn't you just put it in the actual camera app? But other than that, the camera is definitely in the top 3 cameras of any smartphone I've used so far. Definitely. So you're not going to have any issues with the camera. The reason I say top 3, the top 3 cameras have got slightly different properties. So like the S7 Edge will give you a much more saturated look. This will give you a more natural color in your photos and videos. So things like that, it's all personal preference, but you're not going to be disappointed by the camera. Now, other things like widgets. Do I miss widgets? I do miss them to a point, but I can live without them. You've got this on the side here for other widgets. If you want, so you have your widgets there if you need them. And then you've got this here, which comes up. Switch off my Bluetooth. So you've got all this. So if you want to play your videos, whatever, you can control it from there. This is a little bit random. It doesn't always come up when I pull up like that. Look, see? It's a little bit erratic, this, which is annoying. But other than that, the software experience is very, very fast and very, very fluid. There's not much slowdown, there's not much lag. Couple of apps which probably need to be updated or optimized. I do find sometimes there's lag in them, Google Plus being one of them, YouTube another one. Sometimes the odd occasion I'll be playing a video on YouTube, it'll stop halfway through and it won't replay it for some reason. I have to come out, double click, close that particular app, then come out, go back into the app and use it. Google Plus, sometimes I'm using it, it will just stop and come completely out of the app by itself. I don't know why it does that. It probably needs to, I don't know, needs to clear out the RAM. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but I'm just pre-warning you guys. But other than that, it's very fluid. It functions very well, and I get it. It's nice. It's a nice experience. One thing I really, really love about this, well, there's a couple of things. One, the home button. You hear that? It's not a real button, but when I first got it, I couldn't get used to it. But now, I actually really like the home button, the way it works. It's not a physical home button, it's taptic feedback, and the fingerprint sensor in it is really fast and very accurate. It's not the fastest fingerprint sensor, but it's very, very accurate. It's probably in the top 3 fingerprint sensors. Huawei is probably the champion in that respect, but once you get used to this button, you'll see it's the future. It's nice. Better than a physical home button, definitely. What I love, another thing I really love about this, if you're in the world of Android, you'll understand, like me, the frustration of how fragmented the whole ecosystem is. You've got some phones on Marshmallow, some running on Nougat, and some are running on Lollipop still. There's no consistency there. You can, Pixel phones will have the latest and greatest update. And even if you got your phone from a carrier, for like an S7 Edge, for example, you can take up to 6, 7, 8 months before you get the latest update, to the latest operating system. Security patches are not the greatest either in terms of regularity, if that's a word. Example, my HTC 10 is still stuck on the August security patch, and we're now in October. That's a real frustration. One thing that's really good about Apple, if you're coming from Android, and you'll understand this, those of you who are already using iPhones will know this. Doesn't matter where you bought your phone, which country you're in, if you bought this from a carrier, if you bought it direct from Apple, you bought it from a store, it does not matter. They'll send out the software update to everyone at the same time globally. That is extremely good. No frustration, no irritation. They're also very fast at sending out updates. I think I've had 3 already in 1 month, which is exceptional. So definitely, if you're fed up of that frustration of not having the latest operating system on your particular handset, you will really enjoy that part of the iPhone. Now, there's no real NFC in here, so if NFC is important to you, this isn't the phone for you. It's got NFC for your, the touch and pay, card payment, that sort of thing, but that's it. NFC is not a big deal to me other than for that reason, so I don't really miss it, to be honest, at all. The phone's also water resistant. I can't remember the exact, I think it's 1.5 meters for half an hour, something like that. IP67, I believe, which is nice that they've actually done that. They've added water resistance to the phone, so you can dunk it in water. I haven't tried. Again, water resistance is not the biggest important thing to me in the world, but if it is to you, you'll be happy it's built into this. Price is too expensive, in my opinion. Because it doesn't have expandable storage, I had to get the 256 gig version, which was £918, something like that. Way too expensive. Pixel phones, way too expensive. All these big brands, these big flagships, they cost way too much, guys. Way too much, and we pay it. It's not just this phone, it's a lot of other flagships I think are too expensive. Note 7 expensive, this too expensive. Pixel too expensive. Again, you have to take that into consideration when you're buying these phones. Now, what else do I miss? I miss there's no wireless charging. Not so much because it's a gimmick, because I actually use it. I find it convenient when I'm at my desk, slap the phone on my wireless charger, and it's charging away, no wires, no messing around. Bedside cabinet, same thing. Put it on the wireless charger overnight, wake up fully charged, I'm happy. I also miss the fast charging. That's something I really got to get used to. When I'm used to quick charge 3.0 and things like that in the Android world, you don't get that on this. So you have to kind of plan your charging, which at the beginning I really kind of struggled to get used to. But because the battery performance is so good in this, it's not such a big deal. But just bear that in mind, guys. This isn't one of them ones you can come home from work, it's at 10% or something, you plug it in the charger, and then you're out the door in half an hour. You won't have charged very much in that time. So just, I'm pre-warning you guys, this is the little things that I wish this phone had. Maybe the next one will have it, who knows. In terms of the operating system, as I said, what I did was I downloaded a lot of the Google apps just to help me on my way to get more used to the iPhone. So I downloaded Chrome, Google Maps, play music, play movies, so on and so forth. You know, you get my point. I've also got my Google Photos as well there, right there. So you don't lose out. It's nice that you can download that into this phone, so you don't lose out on any of those apps if that's what you're used to. But just bear in mind, you can't set your default apps, guys. So you can't make Google Maps your default navigation application on this. So if you're using Siri and you want it to navigate you somewhere, it'll keep taking you to the Apple Maps or whatever it's called, iMaps. It won't take you into the Google Maps. Even if you uninstall this and you try and use Siri or something like that, it will say it's not installed. Would you like to install it on your phone? It will not give you Google Maps as an option, which would be nice if they could change that. I actually quite liked using this as a daily driver. I actually don't mind it at all. What I like is a lot of my family, my friends, my work colleagues all have iPhones. So it's nice to be able to use iMessenger properly with them. You know, video chatting, stuff like that. It's nice to be able to do that with them, which I couldn't really before on an Android phone. Certain things, certain apps I'm not used to yet, I'll be honest. I'm not going to say I don't like them, but like Apple Calendar, I prefer using my Google Calendar. That's my personal preference, but I'm getting used to it. I've downloaded Gmail, although the standard mail app on the iPhone is quite nice. So I'm not going to talk about the S Pen because no other phone has an S Pen. So, you know, any one of you out there who love the S Pen, you can only get a Note 5. So that's your choice. So forget about this or anything else. Battery, performance, camera, screen, speakers, all very good, very nice. Runs perfectly. One other thing. Too many people are making too much of a big deal of the headphone jack being removed. I don't care. It does not bother me. You get the dongle thing if you want to use the old-fashioned type, plug it in. It really doesn't bother me because I use, personally, Bluetooth headphones anyway. Sound quality through headphones, Bluetooth anyway, it's... Now what I found is, this only gives you out 16-bit sound quality. Slightly less, in fact, if you go via Bluetooth. Now, I'm used to better quality sound. I'm quite an audiophile. Now, the way I got around this was, I bought a pair of these. And what I'll do is, I'll leave a link up in the at the top of the video here, where I reviewed these and compared to the Bose QC35s. These are the Sony MDR1000X headphones. They're active noise cancelling. These are the best headphones, in my opinion, to use with this phone. What these do is they upscale automatically the music coming from the iPhone from 16-bit up to 24-bit. Then the music sounds excellent, and I highly recommend you look at investing in a good, solid pair of Bluetooth headphones. Don't go for the stupid little things or the AirPod things. Don't worry about them. Get proper headphones, guys, if you like your music. Is this a viable option for those of you who had a Note 7? Yes, it is a viable option. But bear in mind, you don't have the fast charge. You don't have the wireless charging. You don't have the split screen. That's one thing I really miss, is the split screen multitasking. You don't have that. You don't have the S Pen. But you don't have widgets. But this is a contender to the Note 7. Just throwing it out there to you guys. You know I did a hardware review. Hardware-wise, the Note 7 kills this. Simple. But as a lot of Apple fans out there told me, it's not about hardware when it comes to Apple and iOS. It's about the software. And they're right, it is about the software. In the world of Apple, they don't care about 50,000 gigabytes of RAM and, you know, 10K screens and all this sort of stuff. They go for what works, what's consistent, what's smooth, and what works well. It's kind of built by Apple. The whole thing's controlled by Apple. So I would say this is a viable option to your Note 7. I've got a Pixel XL coming on Monday, so I'll be unboxing that and reviewing it, and I'll be doing a comparison to this pure iOS Apple versus pure Android and Google. So definitely hit that subscribe button, guys, and give me a thumbs up to the video. It took a bit longer than I wanted, but I'm trying to help you guys at the end of the day, and I don't make money from this. I've also done a lot of case reviews and accessory reviews for the iPhone 7 Plus already, so check that out. Definitely subscribe. I've done a lot of headphone reviews for the iPhone 7 Plus also, and I've got a lot more reviews coming up, guys. So I'll see you all again soon. Take care, and bye for now.